If this speaks to your heart, hit subscribe and walk with us in His truth. Your strength isn't found in your circumstances. It's found in God's joy. There are moments in life when everything feels heavy. Responsibilities pile up. Disappointments linger. And the challenges we face seem to drain every bit of energy we have. You try to stay strong. You try to keep pushing forward. But deep down, you feel tired. Tired of fighting the same battles. Tired of carrying burdens that seem too big to handle. In moments like these, many people begin to believe that strength comes from within themselves. They think they must push harder, work longer, fight stronger. But the Bible reveals a different source of strength. A strength that doesn't depend on circumstances. A strength that doesn't run out when life becomes difficult. In Book of Nehemiah 8:10, we read these powerful words, "Do not grieve, for the joy of the Lord is your strength." Think about that statement for a moment. It doesn't say that success is your strength. It doesn't say that comfort is your strength. It says the joy of the Lord is your strength. This truth was spoken during a powerful moment in Israel's history. The people had returned from exile. Their city had been broken. Their walls destroyed. Their hearts filled with sorrow over the mistakes of their past. When they heard the words of God's law being read to them, many of them began to weep. They realized how far they had drifted. But instead of leaving them in sorrow, Nehemiah spoke words of hope. He reminded them that God did not want them to live in grief. God wanted them to live in the strength that comes from His joy. You see, joy in the Lord is not the same as temporary happiness. Happiness depends on what is happening around us. Joy depends on who is with us. And when God is with us, there is always a reason for joy. Even in difficult seasons. Even in moments when life feels uncertain. Throughout the Bible, we see this pattern again and again. Paul and Silas sang praises in prison. David worshipped God while running from enemies. Jesus endured the cross knowing that joy was waiting on the other side. Joy is powerful. It lifts the heart when circumstances try to pull it down. It strengthens the spirit when discouragement tries to take over. And it reminds us that our story is not finished yet. Maybe today you feel exhausted. Maybe the pressures of life have been weighing on you. Maybe you've been carrying burdens that seem too heavy to bear. But God is inviting you to experience a different kind of strength. Not the kind that comes from pushing yourself harder. But the kind that comes from trusting Him deeper. When you begin to focus on God's goodness. When you remember His promises. When you allow gratitude and praise to fill your heart. Something begins to change inside you. The heaviness begins to lift. Hope begins to rise again. And strength begins to return. Because the joy of the Lord has a way of renewing the soul. It reminds you that God is still working. Still guiding. Still providing. And still writing your story. The challenges you face today are not the final chapter. The discouragement you feel today is not the end of your journey. God is still moving in your life. And His joy can give you the strength to keep going. So if you feel weary today, lift your eyes to God. Remember His faithfulness. Remember His promises. And allow His joy to fill your heart. Because when the joy of the Lord becomes your strength, no challenge can truly defeat you. And no storm can take away the hope that God has placed inside your heart. If this blessed you, please subscribe for more Bible truth.